everybody. Welcome to another episode of Treasure Talks. I'm so glad that you're with me today, and I'm super duper glad to have one of my dearest friends, Edie Tolbert. She's been on our episodes before. In fact, she's kind of like a regular because I want to be like Edie when I grow up. So I'm so thankful to have her with me because every day I'm inspired by this woman, and I've learned so much, even in my own breast journey, because she is my breast friend. She's been there for so many things. And I want to read a little bit about what Edie has done. Edie Tolbert is the founder and the heart behind the Stonebrook Project, and she is just one of those people you instantly love. Her story began with her own breast cancer diagnosis, and instead of stopping there, she turned that season into something really beautiful and started with a day spa and a desire to care for others. It's now grown into a full-time mission. She does not have the spa yet now, but she will explain what happened. She brings over 35 years of experience, a servant's heart, and a presence that makes people feel seen and cared for. She's been married to her high school sweetheart for over 40 years and is a proud mom and Mimi to some precious grandbabies. Oh, and they're so cute. And she truly found her purpose in serving others and lives it out every single day. And her mantra says it all: be still, listen, and move. Edie has been with us several times, and we've talked about breast cancer. And we do a lot of partnering in that whole area. But you know, when I was thinking about what we were going to talk about today, I kind of titled it From Diagnosis to Calling. You know, what do you do with your story? And so many times we get stuck in that dark place with the twists and the turns where we feel like, God, you're quiet. Where are you? What am I doing? What's my purpose? And I wanted Edie on here. She's perfect because there's been a lot of changes since you were diagnosed. How long ago were you diagnosed? 18 years ago. A lot's happened in those 18 years.
Yes.
A lot's happened since we last talked.
Yes.
Which I want you to share about. So when everything first changed for you, what did the inside of that season really feel like? Not the highlight part, but the real part.
Well, the precursor to being diagnosed with cancer was the dark part. A lot of doors were shutting. Like, I was involved in a lot of ministries at the church, and we were doing some restructuring within the church. So a lot of the things that I was in charge of, I was over the nursery. I directed the youth and fine arts. We were greeters, you know, when people entered the church. And all of those doors were shutting. And I was really, really questioning what my purpose was, because I'm not a person that sits on the back pew, goes in, sits on the pew, and walks out. I have my hands in a lot of different things. And we went on a missions trip, and it was just me, my husband, and the evangelist. And I remember sitting at a table, a picnic table, and we were eating fish and chips. And I was saying, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what God's doing. He's shutting all the doors, and I don't know what. And I was crying. Didn't know that he was shutting all of those doors because I was getting ready to walk into my mammogram when we got back from that trip.
Wow.
And be diagnosed with cancer. And he knew that if I continued to do all of those things, I wouldn't have been able to handle the cancer diagnosis and walk through it like he wanted me to walk through it.
I didn't know that part of your story.
You didn't?
How did I not know that part of your story?
Yeah, that was the beginning.
The beginning of it all. You know, and it's really, it kind of brings me to that point of when God is quiet, He's never quiet.
He's never quiet.
He's working and preparing.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
Isn't that amazing? And sometime when you have us in person, ask me how Edie is my friend. It is a really, really neat story about how
it is.
God has a sense of humor.
He sure does. And I'm so glad he does.
Oh, I'm so glad too, because Edie's one of the most important people in my life. And okay, was there a moment when you realized I can't go back to who I was before this?
Before or after cancer?
Yeah.
So after cancer, I knew that I wasn't going to go back and be the person that I was before, because all my priorities shifted. When you walk through something that's very life-threatening, you take all of those things that may be 10th or 11th on the list and you shove them to the top of the list. You know, my family being one of them, and just not taking, I mean, like, I took for granted washing my hair and brushing my teeth. And when you go through a surgery like that and you're all bandaged up and you can't take a shower, you're doing sponge baths, your hair is nasty, oily, yuck, and all you want to do is wash your hair. And before that, it was just taken for granted. So I didn't take all of those little things for granted. I was not going to go back to that person that I was before.
Perspective. I mean,
Perspective.
even in this time of our lives, perspectives change. You know,
Yes.
Jennifer and I were just talking about, you know, this season of our lives. Boy, perspectives change.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, well, how do you begin to listen for purpose when your life feels full of fear and uncertainty? Right now, you and I both see every day women that are facing such fear of the unknown. How did you walk through that? That's a quiet place. And usually when we're in that quiet place, that's when fear speaks the loudest.
I don't think I was as fearful when I was actually diagnosed. Now, 2 years prior to that, when I had an abnormal mammogram, I was freaked out. But this one, I was not freaked out. I had that gut feeling that something was wrong. And I knew that God was going to walk me through it. So the fear wasn't there, but the uncertainty was there.
Right.
And so I want a roadmap. Tell me where to start. Tell me which stops to take, which exits to take, and where the trip is going to end. And I didn't know that. So that was more, I don't want to say difficult, but difficult was walking through the uncertainty of not knowing.
The uncertainty of not knowing what. Okay, and you are such a steady presence. We were laughing at this. Did that come naturally?
Yes. Yes, it did. No, it did not. I think once I was diagnosed and my priorities shifted, I think that's when he started pulling the reins, pumping the brakes for me and telling me to sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. And that's when I really started listening and trusting and just being still.
And would you say, I know that my whole journey with my mom's cancer and autoimmune, that really was a place in my life where I found my purpose. And I really think yours is similar too, because I think that you are such a voice for the breast cancer community. Tell a little bit about what happened. You were with the clinic, the spa. Can you kind of share a little bit about what happened? Because some people may think you're still at the spa. Where did that shift and how did that all happen?
So I knew that I wanted to give back. I knew that God was calling me to give to women breast cancer, both survivors and people going through it. And I had the opportunity with where I was going. My nail tech and my massage therapist, they were closing. And so there was an opening there. And I thought, well, this is random. Nothing is random.
Nothing is random.
And so we opened a day spa. I mean, that was in April. And it was exactly 2 years after my diagnosis. That was in April. We opened in August. Had that business for 15 years. And I just recently sold it last year.
You had the spa?
The spa
for 15 years?
For 15 years.
Wow, I didn't realize that either.
Yeah, and so started working on it in April of 2010, and then I sold it in April of 2025.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was the foundation. That was where God taught me a lot of things about business and didn't know a thing about nonprofit. It wasn't even on my radar. But 6 years after, I launched the nonprofit, and now that's what I'm doing full time. But I needed all of that structure, learning the finances of a business, learning how to, fundraise. I'd done a lot of fundraising for like kids stuff, right? But just learning all of that through the business now set a really good foundation for the Stonebrook Project.
Because a nonprofit is a business in a sense, because you have to really, it's like a business. So that really did prepare you. And what made you want to go completely into nonprofit? There was a shift there where you were like the weight lifted of having that spa, and it was full steam ahead. Tell me a little bit about that, because your purpose I have seen you are a world changer with what you're doing. She really is. She just spoke. Where are you at a City Hall? Where you were
at Oklahoma Capitol?
Yeah, she was at the Capitol speaking. I'm telling you, she's making a difference. So,
I think that the shift for me was that I there was some struggles that I had in the business. I felt like, running a business and a nonprofit are two full-time job, and I was doing them part-time, and I wasn't
yeah,
doing a really good job. I met with a friend of mine.
stress. Talk about
I
stress.
met with a friend of mine. I said, you've got 60 minutes to tell me how to be a better leader at the spa, because I feel like I'm failing, just over the top failing. And it was that day that I realized that I needed to sell the spa and just do the nonprofit full time. And because I couldn't take it any further. I mean, I either had to commit to the day spa or I had to commit to the nonprofit. I could not continue to manage both of them and do it well. It was just, it wasn't working.
That gives me a nostril twitch thinking about it. Tell the viewing audience what are you doing now? You are.
So we did a shift. I think that was 2 years before I sold the spa. We did a shift at the nonprofit. A friend of mine, Joel, sat me down because he's done some video and stuff for us in the past. And he said, I really believe in what you're doing. I want to sit down with you. I've been certified as a story brand certification, and I want to use you as my first person. And I was like, okay. And so he sat down with me and he walked through why are you doing this and all the questions. And he said, we need to tell your story more. I'm like, Joel, everybody's heard my story. He goes, no. You need to tell it over and over again. And he said, I really think that where your purpose lies is in breast health education. And I said, what? What? And so we shifted, and our first pillar became breast health education, then our community, which is our community cancer group, and then our care. Our care was good. It was going. It was well. And by care, I mean oncology, massage therapy services.
Because you still offer that.
We still do that. But that wasn't the core of what we needed to be doing. As a breast cancer survivor, I need to be out teaching women how to manage their breast health from start. Before we want to bring the fight to cancer, not wait until when they're in cancer. There's already so many resources and education, but it's the all the stuff prior that really needs to be out there and be taught. So that's what we're doing.
There is so much that needs to be taught. Are you finding out that as you're out sharing that there's just so many people that just don't know?
I listened to a breast cancer survivor at our last community cancer group. She just had an abnormal mammogram on the other side. She did a lumpectomy on one side. She had an abnormal mammogram, and she's 5 years out and still didn't know about her dense tissue.
Density. Breast density is so huge.
So every time I feel like we're getting somewhere. I mean, we're making strides, but there's still so much to be done. So much to be done.
She's really walked me through a lot of just my whole journey with it. And you give like lunch and learns at different offices and stuff. Where can they find you?
It's just edietolbert.com.
Okay.
And they click on book a session. And that's how
I highly recommend that you book her to do a session and just kind of educate your workplace, your education place. And we've talked about this before. It's younger and younger and younger.
Yeah.
And a 25-year-old's not thinking, gee, I think I'll get a mammogram.
No. And they're not even really thinking about self-breast exam.
No.
But they need to be very familiar with their bodies and know when something is abnormal and when it's not. So it's very important.
It is. I have walked through a nonprofit. I'm in a mastermind class with Edie for nonprofit founders. And, doing this world of nonprofit, I'm going to ask you a really random question. How do you do this, Edie, and not become jaded? Do you know what I mean? No, seriously. Because we were talking about this before this started, and sometimes there's just so much. How do you do this and not become jaded again, do you know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying, because we deal in a very heavy.
It's heavy, you
the
guys.
burden is heavy. You're dealing with life and death,
And sometimes people can be poopy.
and people can be really ugly.
Because really
can be
ugly,
really ugly.
and hurting people hurt people,
Mhm,
but
mhm,
and people that are in the nonprofit world are probably going, yeah, we know what you're talking
mhm.
about, especially founders and leaders. How do you do this, and through all of the twists and turns that your journey has had, and still just have the passion that you have for the purpose of what you're doing?
It's my tribe.
I'm part of her tribe.
It's my inner circle
That's so
of
good.
people, that, because it is, as being a founder, it's lonely because we don't have other people that we can talk to, but now we do. And so when you go through those really trying times, when you lose somebody to cancer, when people are just crappy, you call upon your tribe and say, I need to vent. I need to talk about this. I don't need you to solve my problem. It's not a problem. I just need to get this out so that it doesn't stay inside and fester, so I don't punch the next person that walks in the door.
I'm gonna high five someone in the face with a chair.
So it's very important to have an inner circle, and that's what's helped me.
You know, when we talk about this a lot on Treasure Talks about the importance of your tribe, and I think the thing that really was hard for me to realize is that there really are people that don't want to see you succeed, and to find the tribe that wants you to succeed, those people are jewels. They are gems. You need to find those people.
Yep.
How did you find it? Did you go through times where you had your trust kind of betrayed or hurt, and have to get past that and become vulnerable to find a tribe? How did you do that? I just was asked that this week. But Lisa, I have just been so betrayed. How do you expect me to trust again?
Well, it takes time. You can't invite somebody for coffee and just unload everything in your life on them. You have to meet for coffee 20 times, or go to lunch, or you have to spend time with people. And this is one of the things that Jennifer has taught me, which is my business bestie. She has always said, you have to know, like, and trust that person. So it's, you know them first, and then you like them, and then you build trust over time. And then you know who you can call and scream at, and know that they're just going to listen.
And they're going to love you in spite of it all. And I think in this day and age, it's so important, especially if you are in a nonprofit or you are a business leader, to be able, you cannot do it without your tribe. And we were talking about how easy it is to isolate.
Yes.
And that's usually my first go-to, but I will not let myself isolate. And many times I'm on the phone with Edie. Edie, talk me off the ledge, you know?
And here's the thing. If you do have a tribe like we do, and you know that somebody has been silent for a period of time and that's not normal, reach out. Be that person to reach out and say, are you okay?
Right.
Do we need to go to coffee?
Right.
Do we need to have liquor? What do we need
You've
to do?
done that. You've done that with me before.
Yes.
Because I will tend to get, if I'm just completely overwhelmed, I will tend to just kind of, I don't want to bother them. I don't want to bother them. They're so busy. You know what? If someone said that to me, I'm not too busy.
Yes.
I want to help. And so I really encourage those that are struggling, find that tribe.
Yeah.
And in my own life, I think about, I've been vulnerable so many times and have been hurt so many times, but I'm so thankful I kept on, you know, and that I was able to really find that tribe. You talk about be still, listen, and move. What does that mean?
When I'm overwhelmed and I feel like I just need to fix it, that's when I know that I just need to sit still, wait for the instructions from the Holy Spirit, and then be obedient and move. And it takes everything I can sometimes.
Oh, man. And I'm so impatient. That's the hard thing for me is I'm just like, Lord, now. You know? What has the journey healed in you beside the physical part of it? You know what I mean?
I think for me, it's self-awareness, to know, like, I just had a recent revelation with my mom. My mom's no longer here. She's been gone.
I was wondering about your mom this morning.
She's been gone 10, 12 years.
Were you all close?
No.
Okay.
No, we were not close. I was close to my dad. But my mom had a lot of baggage. And so as I've walked this journey, whatever, out, I've come to know that The reason that it was so difficult for her to parent is because her mom passed away when she was 18.
Wow.
So she didn't know how to parent past the age of 18.
Wow.
And that was when our relationship became very, very rocky, was because I expected her to tell me how to navigate being a teenager, and she didn't know.
She didn't know.
And so some of those things have been very self-awareing for me, just because of, life experience and what have you.
Yeah, and I think the older we get and the more
Mhm.
people we meet, it just becomes more precious.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was just thinking today, and again, as I was talking with Jennifer, that we're in the third part of our life, is that you start to see your mortality.
Yeah.
And you start to really look at things differently,
Yep.
If you could sit across from the version of you on the day of your diagnosis, what would you say to her?
Don't be afraid, because God's with you.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm gonna do some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
For you.
Great.
And yeah, I love rapid fire because you learn a lot about a lot of people, and I've learned so much from Edie. And again, I want to reiterate, those quiet places with the Lord are really not quiet. And many times he's protecting us. Some days when I walk in and I think I've had a bad day, I'm alive. My parts are still hanging on. I didn't, I'm there, and someone would love my bad day, And
Yes.
so I really just kind of get jerked right back into reality.
Yep.
Okay. Sunrise or sunset? Sunrise. Sunrise. Yeah, because we always do walks. We're always doing this on our walks with our sunsets. Okay, what's a favorite way to spend a free hour?
Just someplace quiet.
I went to a doctor's office the other day, and it was a really long wait, and I sat down. I just went. And they go, it's going to be a long wait. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. Just let me sit here.
Yeah, y'all can go home. Just leave me here. I'll lock the door when I leave.
Room. Okay, a book that has stayed with you.
A book that has stayed. Oh, the what's the name of it? Hold on. John Mark Comer. The Rapid. Oh shoot, what's the name of it?
You'll think of it when
I'll
we're not
think
talking
of it.
about it.
I think it's Orange.
Go to the Orange Book by
John Mark Comer.
John Mark.
The Rapid Elimination of Hurry, or something like that.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That is a great one.
Elimination of Hurry.
Yes, that's a good one.
That was a hard
That's
one.
That's a good one. Wow, I know. Okay, if you could have dinner with anyone, who would it be? Don't know.
I really don't know.
She doesn't know. Okay, we'll pass on that one. If you could, I already said that. What is one word that describes this season of your life?
Spring.
Spring?
And I just came out of a long winter.
Oh.
Yeah, the whole sale of the spa and all of that.
Oh, yes.
It's a long winter.
That's a good one.
Spring.
That's a good word. What is your hidden talent? Do you have one?
I do like to dance.
You dance.
Just funny dance.
Funny dance.
Funny dance with my grandkids.
Oh, she's such a great grandma. She is such a great grandma.
Yeah.
What is your favorite way to encourage someone else?
I have positivity like in my top 5 of my Cliftons. So I'm like over the hill positive. And I have to sometimes bring that back in. But I just like to be very encouraging.
Yes.
Very
You are.
encouraging.
You are an exhorter. Okay. What is the one thing you would never leave home without?
Chapstick. I have it in my purse, in my car, it's everywhere. In my kitchen drawer, in the bathroom drawer. Yeah, chapstick. Never.
Okay, and I'll end on this one. If you could give your younger self one piece of, you already did that, Lisa. What's one word you hope people feel after meeting you?
Educated.
That is a good word.
Educated.
And you know what? This woman, and I want to say this about Edie as we end. You said it the other day, if you don't know it, you will find it, because you are a researcher.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are recently diagnosed with breast cancer or just cancer in general, and you want to know, I'm always, hey, Edie, what about a doctor here? Hey, Edie. She is a wealth of knowledge. Please go to her website. Please contact her. And she also has an amazing support group.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your support group before we end.
Our support group is men and women who are newly diagnosed, in treatment, thrivers of cancer, which means they'll have cancer the rest of their life, survivors, and the caregivers. So it's the whole package.
Every month.
Every
Every
month.
month they meet, and it's such a cool group,
Yeah.
and I highly recommend it. So go to our website. Do you want to close us out? Do you have a final piece of advice
The final piece
that
of
you would
advice.
like to share about purpose? Anything we've shared about?
If you feel like God has dropped something in your heart about your purpose, that's your purpose. And if you get that constant, no, it's not, that's the enemy telling you, no, it's not. But if you know that it's been dropped in your heart, it's a desire, then that's your purpose, and lead with that.
And you know what's interesting is that sometimes in the darkest places, in the most broken places, that's when he's dropping the purpose. It was in my most broken places that God was placing the beginning of birthing what I'm doing now.
Yeah. You know, when you're in that really difficult time, lean into it and ask God, what do you want me to see here? And what do you want me to learn here? And he will do amazing things.
And I think if you're in that dark place and you're feeling like God is quiet, find your tribe.
Yeah.
Let that be on the
100%.
top of your list. Start working to just try to find those people that can support you and lift you up.
Yep.
You want to close in prayer, my friend?
Sure. Father, thank you so much for this time to be spending with Lisa and her audience. Lord, I hope that if there's just one thing that somebody hears from this message that encourages them, that I hope that that's what it is. Because, Lord, we want to be your light shining into the darkness and bringing those people out. Lord, be with our viewers. Bless them. Walk with them. Show them something good that you want them to see today and make it evident. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Edie, thank you for being my friend,
you.
and thank you for being here with me.
Yeah.
Ask me
Sorry.
how many pictures we have on our phone in the morning going.
My girls are like, Mom, don't ever do that again. I'm doing it.
I know I'm doing it anyway. And thank you guys for joining me every month on Treasure Talks. I just love all of you. And if you go to the YouTube page, make sure you ding the bell. You can go to lisabain.com and get caught up on all of our guests and Treasure Talk episodes. And we will meet you here again next month, same time, same place. And have a great month, and we'll see you later.